Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. And I have to tell you, I am brokenhearted. I'm a trend forecaster. Again, not bragging. Trend tracking, far better than Megatrends, Time Magazine. Trends 2000, international bestseller. Trends Journal, weekly magazine, over 150 pages a week. Been at this going on 44 years. I look at the current events forming future trends, and we are facing hell on earth. The Ukraine war is out of the news. It's all about the Israel war now. And this is serious. It's serious. You go back to our cover of the Trends Journal last week. It's all failing. It's right there. The economy, Ukraine war, judicial reform, Middle East meltdown, refugees, crime, government corruption, violence. When all else fails, they take you to war. So now we got the Israel war going on. And by the way, articles that we had in last week's Trends Journal about how Israel knew about this, you're also seeing articles coming out now from United States top people, Egypt, saying they gave the warnings to Israel that this was going to happen. Again, when all else fails, they take you to war. And one of them we mentioned in last week was judicial reform. The people hated the guy that's playing the prime minister, that keeps playing it over and over again, Benjamin Netanyahu, for his judicial reform acts. Not my language, but the language from the Jerusalem Post, Haaretz, Times of Israel. There's a civil war going on in Israel. That's right. 39 weeks in a row, people taking to the streets in opposition of Netanyahu's judicial reform. Hey, all forgotten now. They all united to fight those Palestinians. The Palestinians that have been locked up in an open-air concentration camp for almost 17 years. Can't get in, can't get out. And again, I want to make this really clear. Don't call me an anti-Semite. Number one, Palestinians are Semites. Number two, the people running Israel are Ashkenazi Jews. Yeah. Ashkenazi Jews from Eastern Europe. They are not Semites. Number three of my last four girlfriends were Jewish. Number four, my best friends are Jewish. So don't give me this anti-Semite crap. Shove it. I only write the facts. I have an internationally renowned magazine. No magazine in the world comes close to it. Only facts. This is just from this year. These are some of the stories, the articles in the Trends Journal regarding the new Netanyahu government and what the mainstream media was calling extreme right-wing government. Some of the headlines: top trends 2023, Middle East meltdown, Israeli MP wants to wage war against Palestinians. Oh, that was only June 10th of this year. One after another. One after Israel keeps killing Palestinians. 7 February 2023. Israel on the brink of civil war. February 14th, 2023. Israel conducts deadliest attack on Damascus as Syria tries to overcome historic earthquake February 21st, 2023. Middle East meltdown. Israeli, quote, settlers attack Palestinian villages in occupied West Bank. Settlers? What's this settler bullshit word? You got no right being there. You're in violation of international law. That's right. You're in violation of the Geneva Convention. You stole this land. And don't give me the bullshit that God gave you this land. Maybe your God's not the God that the Palestinians believe in, or maybe the hundreds of other religions. I know Moses came down with 15 commandments, dropped 5 of them, and that's really what it is. There's a murderous group of people. And again, your articles are right there. Middle East meltdown. Again. Israeli official calls a Palestinian village to be wiped out. 7 March 2023. Again, you can't believe what we're saying. You only believe what the government tells you to say. The COVID war, the Ukraine war, the Israel war, you're only allowed to believe one side, the official piece of shit side. I look at the New York Post. What a bunch of disgusting clowns. What a bunch of shit they publish. That's right, one after another, brainwashed by crap. Again, the COVID war, the Ukraine war, and now the Israel war. Massive protests break out in Israel after passing of judicial reform bill July 2023, July 25th. Protesters keep rocking Israel as Netanyahu moves ahead with judicial reform. Democracy, Israel holding, you ready? Over 1,200 detainees, Palestinians who have not been charged, August 8th. Lavrov, that's the Russian top guy in the diplomat, calls out West hypocrisy, citing Israel's occupation of Golan Heights. Israel carries out airstrikes on Gaza as tension in region simmers. Again, all these articles are up there. Put these articles up there. All right? We're not making this up. This is in your Trends Journal week after week. You know when the last one is? Israel carries out airstrikes on Gaza as tensions in region increase? October 3rd. That's right. 7 days before Hamas launched the attack. Israel's wiping out the Palestinians. So this is what happens when you're in a concentration camp, a prison, and you break out, you want to kill everybody around you. And just like they did with when that other scumbag, George Bush Sr., like his arrogant little boy, Georgie Bush Jr., launched the Kuwait War. Yeah, that little fuck, Bushy Jr. We're going to get that Saddam Hussein dead or alive. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. Entire stockade. Yeah, his father started the Kuwait War. That's right. And you know what the bullshit was? That the Iraqi soldiers were going into the hospitals in Kuwait, taking kids out of incubators and stabbing them. And the woman that was saying it to Congress was an actress, and his father was like the ambassador to America from Kuwait or something like that. And the same thing with this beheading of kids. All bullshit. All bullshit. I'm totally opposed to what Hamas did. Just like with Russia, why they invaded Ukraine, totally understand why it hasn't. So, again, there's this great interview I did with Daniela Cambone on, she's with Stansberry. You put in Cambone Salenti on YouTube and you'll see it. And I said to her, if somebody broke into your house, a gang broke into your house, your wife, your husband, your kids, and they're occupying your house for 17 years and telling you what to do and doing anything they want, and maybe murdering one of your kids or all of them, you think you're going to go nuts in your mind and do something to kill them? We are on the verge of nuclear annihilation. You got these clowns on Fox talking about the Samsung option, that if Iran gets involved in this thing gets out of line, it has to be a nuclear, Israel has to go nuclear. And that means all the civilizations wiped out with the Samsung operation. And that's what we're on the verge of. And Ukraine's out of the news. Here's my trend forecast. What they're going to do, because they're not getting the dough they need, it's going to now Israel, as with Biden going there. They're going to launch a false flag attack in Ukraine. That's going to make the headline news to get them back in the news. They may launch an attack on a nuclear power plant. They may launch something very big in Moscow. They're going to do everything they can to get back in the news so people start again supporting Ukraine, as they don't want to do it anymore because now they're all going pro-Israel. And then what's the news now? That over 500 people died in a Baptist hospital in Gaza. That's right. It's from Yahoo. The horrors of Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Look at this. Okay, now let's take this guy and this girl and let's make them Jewish. And let's make the hospital that they were in not a Baptist hospital, but a Jewish hospital. And Hamas or Palestine bombed it. This should be terror. Oh my God, how terrible. But it's, and by the way, now the propaganda coming out is that no, Israel didn't bomb this hospital. And again, we have all the articles about Israel was doing to telling the people in Gaza to leave, in northern Gaza. The place is 5 miles by 25 miles. There's nowhere to go. You can't get in, you can't get out, and the Egyptians aren't letting them out. And now, and again, all the news is coming out of the people trying to escape that are being bombed to death by Israel. And now Israel is blaming a Hamas rocket that was going into Israel that, fell apart and hit the hospital, rather than blaming it on who did it. I'm telling all my Jewish friends, unite for peace. And I, Gerald Celente, just don't talk about it. I launched Occupy Peace, as you all know. That all these little arrogant pieces of scum shit and the media refuse to talk about. So I'm telling everybody, Jews and non-Jews, tomorrow there is a rally. That's right. American Jews say ceasefire now, stop genocide of Palestinians. Jewish voice for peace. Jewish voice for peace. Do everything you can to go to that rally and support peace. Because if we don't, we are going to be annihilated. World War III has begun. with the Ukraine war. Now it has escalated. If the United States and Israel fight Iran, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye. It'll be nuclear annihilation. Here, Israel knew of Hamas attack in advance. 3 days before Hamas' large-scale assault on Israel, the Egyptian authorities warned their Israeli counterparts that such an operation was imminent. You know who said this? United States House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCall. Quote, "We know that Egypt has warned the Israelis 3 days prior that an event like this could happen. I don't want to go and get too much into classified information, but the warning was given." Again, when all else fails, they take you to war, and the Israeli government was failing big time. Nobody talks about this anymore, about the judicial reform. 39 weeks in a row, the people taking to the streets, but it's all over now. So trend alert, again, we warned about the Middle East meltdown. This is why you subscribe to the Trends Journal. It was one of our top trends for 2023. Came out on January 3rd, 2023. That's right. We sent this out to our subscribers. Here we go. Top trend, Middle East meltdown. As you well know, one of our top trends of 2023 was Middle East meltdown. As forecast, the meltdown has begun, and the world knows it. The Israeli war that is now raging is a shot heard round the world. Fearing the worst is yet to come, gold prices are spiking, blah, blah, blah. We go on that. But if we do not have peace on earth, all the gold in the world will mean nothing. World War III began with the Ukraine war and has now escalated to the Middle East. We are on the precipice of nuclear annihilation. America's Senator Lindsey Graham, a warmonger of the first degree and a champion of the mainstream media, declared Israel war, quote, is a religious war, and urged the Israeli military to attack Gaza and do, quote, whatever the hell you have to do to level the place. Yep, level the place. 2.3 million people, half of them children in Gaza. And he's saying, level the place. And bingo, did they just level that hospital? Yep. Again, the most densely populated place on the planet. 2.3 million people in a place the size of Philadelphia. And they're in a concentration camp since 2007. Can't leave, can't get out. And as if this is a religious war, and he says, hell, who the hell is he to say we the people should support, and what right does America have to keep sending in almost $4 billion a year to buy weapons from the military-industrial complex to fight a religious war? Ain't my religion. Nope. You want to believe in it? Fine. I believe in the Universal Church of Freedom, Peace, and Justice, which I'm the deacon of. You got your religion? Don't tell me what to believe in. I won't tell you what to believe in. And now it's a religious war. It's not the bullshit that America keeps spewing out. We're bringing freedom and democracy to the country. That's why we're destroying the shit out of it. It's a religious war. Crusades 2000. Again, a trend that I had forecast in my book, Trends 2000, in 1996. Came out in 97. The fuck-faced president of Warner Books held it up for a year, a trend book. Because my editor-in-chief had a falling out with the president. And now Warner Books is gone, and so is that fuck who held my book up. But anyway, it's right there. So now going back to your Trends Journal, it's coming out. Trends on the economic front. What's going on with treasuries? Where are the rates going, the interest rates? The U.S. debt. Great article in here that you're not going to want to miss by the one and only Gregory Mannarino. Are you ready? Central banks will vastly inflate from here. Trends in Technocracy by the Technocracy champion who writes about all the ugly stuff going on. High-tech Trends in Technocracy by Joe Duran. Featured guest articles by Dr. Joseph Mercola. And you ready for this one? Another one. America's crisis goes global. Gaza strikes back, Phil Giraldi. These are all special articles. And then Ukraine war trend update. And again, watch out. They're gonna do a false flag event, as we keep saying, on and on. And then, of course, the Israel war. That's the big articles, one after another. Trends on the global economic front. When the economy fails, jobs go with it. Going out of business trends, world economy limping. Where oil prices are going, dragflation. Sales of luxury goods slow. Yep. Very important. Very, very important. So we're giving you everything we can give you. Oh, World Health Organization condemns Gaza hospital attack. 500 people were killed. Yep, at least. Calling for immediate protection of civilians in the Palestinian territory. Israel denied responsibility for the strike. And I also suggest you go look up Scott Ritter. That guy, man, former Marine, tough guy, been on the other side. That's why he knows what's going on. Been to Israel, been all over, been to Iraq, been around the world. And he writes now why he'll no longer support Israel. And I'm telling again, all my Jewish friends to unite for peace, because there's going to be big anti-Jewish pushback on this. And they're going to suffer for the sins of the crazy people in charge. And they're outnumbered. There are, what, 16 million Jews on the Jewish people in the world out of 8 billion. And you see the rallies and protests going on in Turkey and Jordan and other places, Iran. We need peace. And I'm telling them all to unite for peace. Look, just because I got murderous presidents, the ones that are alive, a little scumbag prick, Bill Clinton, a fucking piece of shit, George W. Bush, an arrogant scumbag, lying shithead, Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner who lied his way into office, Barack Obama. Assad has to go. Gaddafi has to go. Yeah. Trump ramping up the war with Venezuela, blowing out the general in Iran, moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And now bullshit Biden, a warmongering prick who got 5 draft deferments and loves war. And his fifth drafter from it, I got asthma, but the brags about what a great athlete he was when he was in college. These are the people in charge. So should I be persecuted for their crimes? I'm warning the Jewish people, you are going to be persecuted for the crimes of the leaders in charge. This guy, Isaac Herzog, the president of Israel, God gave us this land. No, he didn't. Again, wrote about it in detail, the Balfour Agreement in 1917, when the slimy limeys, the murderous fucking British, where the sun never set on the British Empire, created this fucking shit. When they invented this with the UN in 1948. When they threw some 700,000 Palestinians out in 1949. Another 700 thrown out in the 1967 Israeli war. Again, Israel is in total violation of the United Nations and the Geneva Conventions with its occupation of stolen land. If we don't have peace on earth, it's going to be hell on earth. We got to get a major rally going. In the meantime, again, please go to the rally tomorrow. American Jews say, ceasefire now, stop genocide of Palestinians. A week of actions in Washington, D.C., and it's brought to you by you go to their website, jewishvoicesforpeace.org. And going back to your Trends Journal on the way out, again, a load of articles on artificial intelligence, a whole separate section, high-tech science, health, fitness. We're giving you everything we can. And also, if you want to, but don't do it if you don't, donate to Occupy Peace. OccupyPeace.com. I got to get a major rally going. And by the way, I'm no longer supporting RFK Jr. He's totally pro-Israel, and he's not pro-peace. So there's no one right now that I'm supporting. And if there was a smart, real human presidential candidate, that he or she would come out now and saying, every American who believes in the spirit of America, of we the people, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, take to the streets and demand that we have peace. And it's very simple. If we all got out there in the numbers that make a difference, it's our t-shirt, basically. Hey, politicians, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Get this in your head. You're public servants. We tell you what to do. That the people could actually take orders from a little fucking piece of shit like Lindsey Graham, like tough Chucky Schumer, who's calling for more of the destruction of the Palestinians. A little fucking prick that couldn't fight if his life depended on it. Little Marco Rubio, a little dick of nothing. Get this in your head. I'd say to them right to their face, you guys got it backwards. You're public servants. You do what we tell you to do. I am an American. In God I trust. So support us. We're supporting you. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. You're getting information you're not getting anywhere else. And I'm saying this because the more subscribers we have, the more we unite, the more we can do. Who else in the world, name him or her, that came out with the top trend of 2023, Middle East meltdown? And here it is, right in front of your eyes. And not only is the Middle East melting down, if we don't stop this, the whole world will melt down. Amen and amen. Tomorrow, Salenti and the Judge, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then.
At the Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
His work is actually a gold mine. Anybody interested in politics, political trends, economic trends, social trends, cultural trends, you have to follow him, Gerald Salenti.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Salenti, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.